Hello YouTube. Welcome back to Bald Man Building an Airplane. This is the third video of the fiberglass sections on the rudder. Where we left off was I'd applied some glass the night before to the position and strobe light that goes in the bottom of the rudder area, because I had to sand it down and smooth it. And then, of course, since it got sanded and smoothed, I needed to, I took a bit of material away, so I think I put 1 or 2 layers of glass back on there. And I've decided to start using the vacuum to try to clean up the fiberglass dust. In fact, I think, yeah, there you go. So I actually turned it on while I was sanding just to pull the dust away. That way I'm not breathing it, even though I am wearing the respirator for it. So just that way it got the dust out of the way and I wasn't kicking it back up and breathing it later. So so here what we're doing, and you can't see it because I can't really position the rudder of the camera at the moment well for it, but just drawing, spacing out some holes, because the bottom of the rudder has these like attached strips, and you'll see those in a minute when we do the dimpling and stuff on those. But basically you just got to kind of lay out a bunch of holes with some measurement guidance to drill through both the fiberglass and the attached strip on the bottom of the rudder. We'll install some nut plates, and then it'll attach with nut plates in the end. I'm actually a little bit unhappy about how this process went, because the fairing ended up a little bit, there's probably like a 32nd to a 16th of an inch space between the bottom of the skin and the top of the fairing. I don't know exactly how that happened. I probably just sort of like moved a little bit as I drilled. So it's completely cosmetic, but and the fact that this is a tailwheel airplane, this will be, less than a foot from the ground, and I'm probably never going to see it. But despite that, I wanted it to look great. So whatever. Too bad it doesn't look great. So here we are. I think, yeah. So we used the pilot holes with a screw. So what we did is we drilled the pilot holes at number 30, and then I used a nut plate, and aligning it. These don't have to be perfectly aligned as far as like the wings on the nut plate, because all that matters is the center hole. So that's the attached strip that I was talking about. And now it's just going back and deburring them with basically like the just the deeper part of that tool, I guess. Without the handle, you can do it either way. You just got to get the burrs off, and then whatchamacallit? The control horn area. I had to countersink that as well. I couldn't get a cage on there very well, so I just used the countersink in the hand deburr tool to sort of gently hand countersink it. So here's a fun part. I was trying to figure out a way to dimple these. And so I have the Cleveland tools, not close quarters. So the close quarters dimple die is just a rivet squeezer, or a rivet puller. And even that you couldn't get in there because you got to use a nail as like a rivet stem. But then they had this other thing. And I was like, okay, so I have the little plate right in the bottom center and the other one. So I put a male dimple die in one and I used the other as a female dimple die. And then I just took my Knipex pliers and basically squeezed and put something on the other side so it was like a liver with a fulcrum. And it worked perfectly. It dimpled the skin in very, very tiny space. And I was very impressed with myself for creating that little tool. And by the way, those Knipex pliers, they're great. Anyway, have a good one. See you next time.